I've lived in Bangkok for several years now, but my family has no idea what my life here truly looks like. To them, I'm simply a young woman working hard in the city, someone chasing ordinary dreams. But behind that image is a reality I've kept hidden, even from my closest friends. For the past 7 months, I've been working in an entertainment club in Nana Plaza, a place where smiles can hide the deepest stories. I was raised in rural Thailand, where life was simple but expectations were strict. Even as a child, I knew I wasn't like the boys around me. While they played rough in the fields, I gravitated toward the girls, borrowing their clothes, mimicking their gestures, feeling more at home in their world than my own. My parents were traditional, but they were kind. They didn't always understand me, but they allowed me the space to express myself. That support became the foundation of my journey. As I grew older, the differences became harder to hide. Wearing boys' clothes or participating in boys' activities filled me with discomfort and anxiety. At 13, after years of quiet confusion, I began hormone therapy and took my first steps toward living as the woman I always knew I was. My parents hesitated at first, but eventually they offered their blessing, a gift many never receive. Those early years were far from easy. School wasn't always welcoming. I faced bullying, whispers, and the stares of people who didn't understand. But I refused to let the negativity define me. Instead, I focused on kindness, on making others feel seen, heard, and comforted. Over time, I became known for my warmth, my positivity, and my ability to bring light into any room. That same empathy is what guides me in my work today. At the club, my role is simple on the surface. I talk to customers, keep them company, and help them enjoy their night. But beneath that is a deeper responsibility, understanding people, reading their emotions, and offering a moment of relief in a city that never sleeps. Some visitors just want a conversation. Others seek connection. Whatever they need, I try to offer it with respect and boundaries. There are challenges, of course. The job can be mentally exhausting. Some nights feel heavier than others, but I've learned to protect my peace, to balance my emotions, and to remind myself that my identity and dignity belong to me, not to anyone else. My clients come from all over the world, many of them men from America or Europe, drawn to my confidence and my presence. Over the years, I've become fluent in English, not just for work, but to build genuine conversations with people from different cultures. Still, this life comes with downsides. The secrecy can be painful. The judgment from society can be harsh. And there are days when I wonder if my family would still look at me with the same love if they knew the truth. But despite everything, I remain proud of who I am. A woman who fought for her identity, who survived criticism and isolation, and who continues to carve her own path in a world that often misunderstands people like me. The language barrier is one of the everyday challenges of my work. Not all customers speak clearly, and some accents are difficult to follow. Over time, I've learned to politely ask people to slow down or repeat themselves. Not because I'm uneducated, but because communication matters. Being understood matters. And then, of course, there are the difficult customers, the ones who try to push past my boundaries or take advantage of me. It took time, but I've learned how to say no, how to stand firm, and how to protect myself. Setting boundaries has become an important part of surviving in this world. Despite the hard days, I've also found something unexpected: freedom. Freedom to make my own choices. Freedom to define myself. Freedom to live as the woman I always knew I was. Not everyone understands that. Some people will never accept me as a woman. They see what they want to see instead of who I truly am. Even my family, loving as they are, still doesn't know the full truth about my life. They believe I'm simply working in Bangkok, doing what any young woman would do to make a living. One day, I'll need to tell them everything. Not to shock them, but to finally be honest about why I chose this path and what it has meant for me. I know that conversation will be painful, but I'm ready. I'm ready to face the truth, to face myself, and to face the people I love with honesty and courage. For now, I keep going. I continue doing the one thing I know how to do well, bringing a little happiness into someone's day. Whether through a kind conversation, a warm smile, or simply listening, I try to make every moment meaningful. I keep learning. I keep growing. And I keep reminding myself that my life belongs to me. Working in the adult entertainment world isn't easy. But for me, it's not just about money. It's also about connection, about being seen, heard, and understood in a way I never was growing up. Over the years, I've met all kinds of customers. Some are respectful, gentle, and genuinely curious about who I am as a person. They listen to my thoughts, ask about my dreams, and make me feel like I matter. Others are the opposite, cold, rushed, or disconnected. They treat me like a service instead of a human being. Those moments hurt the most. They make me question everything. But then I remind myself why I started this journey. To survive, to transition, to build a future for myself. Some nights, I meet people I instantly connect with. People who see past my job, past my identity, past the facade. Those moments are rare, but they stay with me. They remind me that even in a place built on illusion, real human connection still exists. But my secret weighs heavily on me. Living a double life is exhausting, being one person for the world and another person inside my own heart. I hope that one day I'll gather enough strength to share the truth with my family. I want them to know that beneath everything, I'm still the same child they raised with love. Still the same soul. Still their family. People ask if I'm afraid. Afraid of being rejected, judged, or abandoned. And yes, I am. But I'm even more afraid of living a life that doesn't belong to me. So I push forward, even on the days when fear tries to pull me back, even when the world feels heavy, because every step I take toward my truth is a step toward the life I want to build. And as I look toward the future, as I look ahead, I know exactly what I want. A life that feels genuinely mine. Not a life built on secrecy, fear, or survival, but one built on authenticity. I dream of opening my own restaurant one day. A warm place filled with the smells and flavors I grew up with. I want to share my love of cooking with the world, to build something that reflects who I am and where I come from. I also hope for love, real love, a relationship grounded in respect, honesty, and understanding. A connection where I don't have to act, hide, or pretend. I want to be seen for who I truly am, not for what people assume I am. I know reaching these dreams won't be easy. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments when doubt creeps in. But I'm ready. I've faced enough in my life to know that I am stronger than any challenge that comes my way. My life has meaning, purpose, and potential, and I'm determined to keep moving forward. Being a transgender woman in Thailand isn't always simple, but it has shaped me. It's taught me resilience. It's taught me to love myself. Even when the world makes that difficult, it's allowed me to grow into a version of myself I once believed was impossible. Looking back, I realize my transition wasn't just a physical journey. It was an emotional awakening. It was about embracing the femininity I carried inside since childhood. It was about letting go of fear, shame, and the idea that I had to live according to someone else's expectations. I still remember the first day I took hormones at 13. I was terrified, but hopeful. Deep down, I knew I was finally stepping into the life that belonged to me. As I grew older, I learned that self-love doesn't come from perfection. It comes from acceptance, from acknowledging who you are, even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. There were times when I felt like I didn't belong anywhere, times I felt like I was living in a world that wasn't built for someone like me. But I kept going, and slowly I found people who understood me, friends who became family, people who accepted me without hesitation. That kind of acceptance is a gift, one I never take for granted. Despite the challenges, I remain unwavering in my identity. I know there are risks, misunderstandings, and people who refuse to see beyond stereotypes, but I will not let fear silence me. I refuse to shrink myself for the comfort of others. My dream now is simple: to start fresh, to build a life free from secrecy. I want to open a restaurant in my hometown, create jobs, welcome people with warmth, and show them that everyone, no matter their past, deserves a chance at happiness. I've already started planning, saving, and laying the groundwork. It's closer than it's ever been. I'm proud of who I am, proud of the woman I've become. I'm learning to treat myself with kindness and patience, and that alone has changed everything. As I reflect on my journey, I'm reminded of one truth: being yourself is the most powerful decision you can make. And I hope my story encourages others to embrace their identity, no matter how difficult the road may be. So let me ask you this: have you ever felt like you didn't belong? Have you ever felt like the world wasn't built for someone like you? If so, please remember this: you are not alone, and your story matters.